The story of Elsa. Once upon a time, a simple and kind-hearted woman lived with one desire in her heart. She had only one simple dream: to have a baby girl. Days and months passed by, but her dream did not come true. Her desire to have a little girl grew stronger and stronger. One day, to make her dream come true, she visited a witch. She expressed her desire to have a baby girl. The witch offered a magic barley grain and asked her to plant it. The birth of Elsa. Although the woman wasn't happy, she had hope and planted the magic grain in a flower pot. To her surprise, the very next day, the magic barley grew into a beautiful big flower bud, which appeared like a tulip. Mesmerized by the beauty of the flower, she softly and gently kissed the bud. Since it was a magic flower, it blossomed instantly with her kiss. The woman was greatly surprised to find a tiny and cute little girl inside the flower, who was as small as a thumb. The woman named her Elsa. Elsa's life. Elsa became part of the woman's life. The woman provided Elsa with everything she needed. She used a walnut shell as Elsa's bed, violet flower petals as her mattress, and beautiful rose petals as her blanket. Elsa played in the petal boat of the tulip and floated on a plate of water. She used 2 horsehairs as oars to sail around the lake. She had a beautiful voice and would play, float, row the boat, and sail around by singing beautifully. Elsa snatched by a cunning frog. After playing for a long time, Elsa fell asleep in her walnut shell. As she was sleeping, a huge frog noticed her through the window. The frog was stunned by Elsa's beauty and thought she would be the perfect bride for her son. She picked up Elsa and ran away with her. Unfortunately, no one noticed when Elsa was snatched by the frog. The large frog carried her to the pond where her family lived. She introduced the beautiful Elsa to her ugly, fat son, who was a mama's boy. Even the ugly son was pleased when he saw her. However, both the mother and son were worried that the beautiful prisoner might escape. To prevent her from running away, they placed Elsa on a water lily and set the lily in the middle of the pond. The mother and son were happy, thinking that Elsa wouldn't be able to escape. Meanwhile, they began preparing for the marriage. How Elsa escaped the trap. The bitter conversations of the 2 frogs were overheard by 2 minnows playing in the pond. They decided to help Elsa escape. With the help of a butterfly, the minnows pushed the lily, and the leaf carrying Elsa floated far away from the pond, allowing her to escape. Elsa encountered many problems. Although Elsa escaped from the frogs, she was soon captured by a beetle. However, the beetle quickly freed Elsa, finding her appearance too different from the others. As summer approached, Elsa wandered through grasslands and across flowers. She struggled to find good food, surviving on pollen as her meals and dew as her drink. Soon, the rainy season arrived, making the surroundings nasty. The little girl struggled even more to find shelter. Despite surviving the heavy raindrops, the winter was even harsher. The cold was terrible, and she couldn't find food. While roaming through the meadows, a big spider offered her help, providing food and shelter. The spider took her to a hollow tree and fed her chestnuts. However, when the spider introduced her to his family, they discriminated against her because she looked different. Elsa cried and left the spider's home. Once again, she wandered through the cold meadows. She found a small cottage made of wood and leaves. Elsa decided to ask for help and knocked on the cottage door. It turned out to be the home of a mouse. The mouse was amazed by Elsa's beauty. She asked the mouse for help and shelter, and the field mouse invited her to stay as long as she wished. One day, the field mouse brought a friend, a rich mole. The field mouse asked Elsa to sing a song, and she sang so beautifully that both the mouse and the mole were deeply impressed. The field mouse insisted that Elsa marry the mole because he was very rich. The mouse was so cruel to her, and she decided to escape. The mole planned their wedding for the summer. After a few days, Elsa nursed a swallow bird back to health, feeding her every day. They grew closer, and the swallow shared her story. When spring arrived, the swallow was fully recovered and decided to fly away. The swallow offered Elsa a chance to join her. Desperate to avoid marrying the mole, Elsa considered the offer, horrified at the thought of spending her entire life in a tunnel with the mole. The day before her wedding, the swallow urged her to join and spend a day in the sky. Without a second thought, Elsa grabbed onto the bird's finger. The bird carried Elsa over hills, meadows, plains, and finally to the flower country. The country was filled with colorful flowers. The swallow gently placed Elsa on a beautiful flower where she met the king of the flower fairies. The king was so impressed by her beauty that he asked her to marry him. Elsa instantly said yes. She became the queen of flowers. They lived happily ever after.